Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Doc.
How are you today?
Good.
It's cold.
I get cold.
Now start winter. Now in summer we are all hot. Winter we are all cold. Anyway, welcome everybody. We are very honored to be here today to study about Buddhism. Then it's very good for us. The Buddhism is always very important to set the perfect motivation. If you have the perfect motivation, then whatever you are hard working here, cold, bend your knees, knee, bend, knee,
Yeah.
and however you go through the difficult situation, therefore you do that for Dharma way, therefore they all become to a cause to purify all negative karmas. Therefore you in order to benefit all sentient beings, I have to achieve enlightenment first. Therefore, benefit all the sentient beings. Therefore, I'm going to practice Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and achieve enlightenment, then help all the sentient beings. Like that. Anyway, it's good to talk about Buddhism. Usually, Buddha's teaching is come to 2,500 before all the war in India. Then Buddha's teaching spread to India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, then all the, I think, East countries. You say East countries? East countries. Now Buddha's teaching come to the Western countries. I think Western is very new Buddhism, but you are not very bad practice, very hard study. Basically, also you have very good basic education, then very easy to also understand practice. Then Buddha's teaching is, of course, it's religion, but one hand is religion, one hand is the science of mind, investigation. Example, Buddha said, somebody will say, because you did this, you are the problem that. Then you not just believe the Buddha. It's true or not. Example, more easy for us every day. Every day we do. For example, when you get angry, the moment that time you are not happy, then you are not happy because you get angry. If you don't angry, you don't get the result to unhappy, to from the so-called angry. Like that, then we check. It's true or not? I'm not very comfortable. This what happened? Because I get angry. Because someone said something bad for me. I saw something, I heard something, Therefore, the result of the angry doing the suffering, unhappy. Then why be angry? Because we are ignorant, unknowing in reality. Therefore we get angry. Also we have very strong ego. Is correct? Ego?
Yeah, ego.
Ego, right? Is whatever I say, whatever I think this is correct. What she say, he say is not correct. They're good or wrong. Always we have that kind of thing. Therefore, Buddha said, if you do, for example, 10 non-virtuous action, because they cause others the bad, they cause to yourself, ourselves. Then now we check, it's true or not. This is not science, right? Science is after they bring something, they check, investigation, then they finally they say, okay, that's it. We complete investigation over that. Like that, we can investigation Buddha's teaching. It's no problem. It's not against Buddha. We can, check all his teachings. Then it's not working for our mind. Reality, then we can just give up. Therefore, if you study Buddhism, not necessarily you come to Buddhism, you can study, you can find some good ideas. Because always we wish to happy life, wonderful life. Then if you find how you create this happy life, how you develop your happy mind, that they teach for us, then you can take them, lesson, that's no problem. Then usually main things, Buddha's teaching, we talk about, before teaching we pray. First we say, refuge. We refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Then we bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is always thinking for others. You always think others. That kind of person, they don't care much yourself. Because you carrying ourselves too much, then we have too much problems. If you're carrying others very, very well, then you don't have much, you don't carry too much for you, then you have not much problems. Therefore, first we, sometimes people say, what can I do practice? I don't know what to do, You can just read whatever we do before teaching. First, refuge, bodhicitta. And very important to also four measurables. Four measurables? Under that is very important. Also you can always think, a little bit. When you have time, you say, I wish to all sentient beings free from suffering. This is meditation loving. You. Compassion. Like that, think about a moment. Then after that, we pray for the Buddha Shakyamuni. Then after that, we have to 7 lambs practice. Guru Yoga Lama Tsongkhapa, 7 lambs practice. This is very important. When we do practice, when you do meditation, then you fall asleep. Maybe you experience some difficult things, some difficult, not very clear your mind. That time we are not enough to merit. Then if you have that kind of problem, then you do 7 lambs practice. This carries more merit. If you have more merit, then your mind is more happy, more happy. And also, any other maras cannot harm us. Correct, maras? Maras. Then after that, this Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra, we talk about the emptiness. Everybody loves emptiness, right? I am meditation emptiness. This Buddha's teaching is no eyes, no ears, no body, no speech. We have eyes, we have body, right? You can see. Now we have to understand that. What are you talking about? Because I can see. When I eat food, taste, they have taste. If no taste, I have something on my tongue, right? That means that Buddha not talking about nothing exists. It is existed, but it is not existed inherently their own side. Good? Understand? Whatever it appears for us, they exist their own side. For example, you can appear to me, you say, how you identify me? Okay, you say, Geshe, how you identify? what do you call it? My head is me? No, right? I said, my head. I don't say, my body is me? No, right? Is my mind is me? No, right? Where's me? We don't think with, oh, he or she, oh, we sit down now. What do you call it? Form, zero. Form we call that. Oh, body, from say, oh, water, oh, something else, we can call it. A real, detail, the investigation does not exist, whatever for us appears. Is correct? Because we think this exists, whatever we saw, whatever we think this exists, therefore we are ignorant, we don't know its reality, therefore the law cause problems. Therefore, if you like to meditate emptiness, you can recite the Heart Sutra, and they talk about all emptiness. Then just you can do that. Then after lam-rim pray, if you do daily practice, also do that. Also, even you can just read Oman Pemyo. Oman Pemyo is very, very powerful. It's Avalokiteshvara. He pray for whoever pray this mantra, they get blessing for them. It's an easy, right? Oman Pemyo, not difficult. Just simple. When you do Oman Pemyo, you can just visualization. Your Guru and Avalokiteshvara in the same form,
Same nature.
Same nature. Then you can heart of the Avalokiteshvara, then what she Oman Pemyo, she is the Shuddhakala, she is the
Sixth syllable.
sixth level.
The sixth syllable of Om Pemyo.
Then you can say Om Man Pemyo, look like this round, you can recite. Because she is Tukala, Oman Pemyo, Kora Eku Jagayavani. And so the Samutani, Man Dramana, the pension service.
So when you recite the Om Pemyo, if you recite it with the visualization of Avalokiteshvara, and at his heart, you say, visualize the moon disk, and on top of that is the sixth syllable Hri, and then surrounded to that syllable is Om Pemyo mantra. So with that, if you recite with that visualization, and at the same time you visualize on nectars and light flowing from that mantra garland and the sixth syllable, and dissolving into you, thereby blessing and purifying all the negatives and so forth. So if you do that kind of visualization, it's even more powerful.
And Oman Pemyo said, and Jawarina to you, Oman Pemyo Homes and that two to it. The Jawari two said, and Jawadoji Jayan, and Jawari two cigarettes, and then some cigarettes.
And so this the sixth syllable, Oman Pemyo, sixth syllable, so symbolizes the five Dhyana Buddhas, and on top of that, and also the Buddha Vajradhara, so six Buddhas.
And then Rawa Rutuki, that Dunga Sajan Songiris.
And also it symbolizes to eliminate the sufferings of the six realms.
And then Persian took Songiris.
And that also symbolizes to achieve the six perfections.
What did the Oman Pemyo pay?
And so therefore it has a great power and great benefits.
And then today, Oman Pemyo touch Jawaringa. And she did it to a coin. The song guitar. Oman Pemyo, the color Marawa is color Ramada.
So if you recite, with that kind of visualization and with that kind of thought in your mind, that it symbolizes the five Dhyana Buddhas, the Buddha Vajradhara, and so forth, then it's more powerful. And also there are different colors for each in the syllable in the Om Mani Padme letter.
Today the Tikala Susu Vijichi, Numo Tusum de Chitakapo Samatang.
So at that time, you can visualize your delusions in your mind in the form of black smoke.
And so the Tingi, that's the Maravatuchi, Rebelda, that Tunduchi, Bewada, and then dissing the essential to young the Regna Pasam Towers.
What around the
Around the never Tingi, Dilo, the Luchi, essential to young, some Regna.
And those who cause harm to us, the maras, the demons, and so forth, visualize them in the form of poisonous animals like scorpions, snakes, and so forth.
어듯이. 근데 근데 여기 까불어야 아니 단다 아니 많은데 저는 또 수능은 지사가 지금 용어로 있겠네. 근데 저래서 그들이 많은 두두니까네. 다 두두 까고 막고 막 밤에 수수지 진짜 얘기 좀 하다 내도 그거 막 시원해. 또 까마셔 좀 samaro 있단 바이러스.
And so as you recite the mantra, you can also visualize these lights and the nectar flowing from the mantra garland at the heart of Avalokiteshvara and enter into your body and purifying or washing away all the negativities, all the sicknesses, diseases, and the spirit harms and so forth, and coming out of your body in a form of like a black small black liquid, or like the poisonous animals like scorpions, snakes, frogs, and so forth. So in that form, it comes off your body, and your body is completely clean. So you can visualize like that. So you have to recite until you get that kind of a strong feeling. And then as you get rid of all these delusions and all the sufferings and all the sicknesses, all the spirit harms, then you experience a great bliss in your mind. So imagine like that as well.
Okay, somebody, everybody knows all I'm all right? 어떤데 이제 바바 시리즈가 안 생각 대장이 메라야 딱 거성 투지 저는 말이 봐 토브르쇼 물음 잡셔 다때 물음은 투지 못 셔요 그래서
단이 밀라
근데 신대기 장애기 현재 쓰지는 다때라 거성 투지 저는 토브르쇼세 바바 시리즈가 투지만 마셔요.
So Vishla and Avalokiteshvara has prayed, for anybody who recites this mantra, to have great bliss in their body, speech, and mind. And because it is also prayed by, just for the fact that it's prayed by Avalokiteshvara, it has great benefit.
근데 전도파지 공유하는 집에는 나도 칸이 이지에서 샴바사에 들어가면 될어야 의색이 니바이러스 달라베이러스.
And also, there's a habit of saying or quoting. So, like when you say that, that's like having feeling towards that person or towards that being, and so it's just a different word you use, right? In Tibetan we say "ningje," which means the compassion. But in English you don't say "oh compassion," you don't say "oh poor thing," So you kind of have feeling for that person, wishing that person to be free from that suffering or that bad situation that person is in. So just by saying that, that has a great benefit. That also creates merit in your mind.
There's one story, I think maybe you guys know. One Japanese guy, called Lojimo. And Kuya, and that church, Chubani Chugich, Chukauchi, Tinani, Timachi, the Hirokan massage. Then Tabachan, the Parjamne. Parjam Majin Galaya, and it does Nijesa. Then can the Tingle City Lamne Parjamala. You put Pari, Madari, Pariode, Shakita Shash, Shy Yuristani, and Taritan Yuris. So, not the Chula Konomo, Nijesa, compared the rich and Congo, Chudra Pachulo. That children the Tipayale, they Tapacha, they Parjam, and Parmano, the Tomaris.
So there's a difference, in when you do something with the with the compassion in your mind, or even just by using the word compassion. And so, like I said, in English you wouldn't say compassion, but oh poor thing, like that. So with a sympathy or a feeling for other being, when you said that word, poor thing or compassion. So there was this Japanese guy, who is a analyst, so he just analyzes all the things, how they work and all these things. So one time he was analyzing on a water, and then he had a drop of water on a glass, to check on it, and so he had a drop of water which comes on the glass, and then it freezes, right? So when it freezes, then he wants to take a picture and see how it looks, to investigate about that. Just before he took the picture, he said, poor thing, like a compassion from his mouth. The compassion would came out from his mouth, and then the picture that came out was different. Different from different from what he what we would have good and gotten if he hadn't said compassion.
Then English what we say, you make me sick, I'll kill you is what. If he said that kind of word, then below the water, same temperature, the picture become very strange. No, someone showed me that the pictures. Maybe you guys see that online. Then he said like same to that, then he said mother trees. And he said like that, then two pictures. Also very nice picture, very completely different. Then he said Hitler. Hitler. The picture become very strange. Even there's power for the word. Nice word, good word has very strong power. This is you can someone really told that they have experience, not we just say, oh, we pray Buddha get the blessing, we just do us wrong. Those kinds of things, they really check investigation. You can see, I think this guy wrote a couple books, very famous books. I know the name now, I forgot.
Matsu.
Oh yeah. Matsu what?
Matsu, you come back to me.
Yeah. Well, this
Extraordinary.
Yeah, this that kind of person, you can check that.
Matsumoto.
Oh, I think I look like that.
Yeah.
You can check maybe Google, you can find what happened. They talk about, they shows, even you say nice words are different. Even you say harsh words are different things coming. And of course we pray that Avalokiteshvara, the place here, and Buddha Sabhavas give blessing to pray for that. Of course we have a lot of blessings.
What is the story of Avalokiteshvara? The Avalokiteshvara principle? Who is this being?
Oh, okay. 지혜씨도 주소는 나왔어.
쟤네들 지금 야보이 chen 것도 이제 파파실에 있어야 돼. 근데 내가 안에 공급 두째 면을 다 선제단도 참 맞이게 빠다 아닌가 하나 산제를 매삼네네. 우리 두째 제네. 다 선제 빠다면 뭐 산제들 학교네. 근데 양주치에서 정말라 아니 선제 빠다면 받아라. 다 뭐를 하대 봐서 아니 선비가 다 용사 말해. 그런 게야. 못 투기를 까봐야 아니. 그리고 섬진 자산 산지에서 그 마토에는 아직 샤, 동, 현동의 용어, 리용어 쇼, 되면 나한테 다 주셔도 되셔도 하루는 내가 사게 나한테 되지라.
So he doesn't remember exactly, but it's a bodhisattva, who was a bodhisattva who made a very strong prayer to lead all sentient beings to the state of full enlightenment. And then he made a promise, that he's going to lead all sentient beings, to the state of full enlightenment. And so he went to meditate, with the thought, and then he meditated on compassion, love, and so and then after some time he thought, now the sentient beings, most of the sentient beings would have been after a very long time, he says now sentient beings must have many of them must have already enlightened already now, So when he opened his eye, then he saw even more sentient beings suffering than he ever thought before, And then he tried that again, several times, but at the end he said, "Oh, this is impossible. I'm not going to do that." And so I'm not going to do. So he broke his promise. And because before he made the promise, this is again story related with how he had like 11 heads and 1,000 arms and so forth, and so then his like head, because he broke the promise, that his head split into 11 pieces, split into 11 places. And when he gave up, then Buddha Amitabha, who said to be the teacher of Avalokiteshvara, and I said, "You don't worry, I will help you and I will support you, to accomplish your wishes." And so then he helped her to put together all this head, and then that's how he had 11 heads. And then it says 1,000 arms, symbolizing 1,000 Buddhas will come in this fortunate eon to benefit all sentient beings. So that's what the 1,000 hand symbolizes. And then the 1,000 eyes in each hand, there's an eye in each hand, so 1,000 eyes symbolizes the 1,000 will-turning kings. They said that every time when there's a Buddha, there will be a will-turning king. And so the 1,000 hands symbolize 1,000 Buddhas, and 1,000 eyes symbolize 1,000 will-turning kings.
Okay, that's good. Okay, now we go into the text. There's a lam-rim, lam-rim,
So now we're going to go to the text where we were talking about the death and impermanence, right? In lam-rim, in the liberation in the palm of your hand.
Usually we don't want to hurt much to death, but this is it's coming. We talk about truth, not something else. There is a time they are going to and then namcho, name, chechen, namcho chami, chechen, name, chive, chugam, mapen bahas. That's awesome.
So normally we don't want to hear the word death, right? But it is very important to think about death. So without thinking about that, there's no way we can think about practicing Dharma. So if you really want to think about practicing Dharma, then it is important to think about death. Remember, recollect death. And so we are talking about this death, and it's explained in the 3 different roots and 9 different reasonings. And so the 3 roots are that death is certain, the time of death is uncertain, and nothing will be of benefit at the time of death except Dharma.
Okay?
What section?
It is
so we are on the outline 149. That's probably a different page. 317 on the blue cover.
357 in the gold.
Good, thank you.
And, well, look for item 149.
149, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
This is they talk about, death.
149.
Everybody found?
So that's the third reason of the third reason of the third root.
They last some was some that 한번 넣지 마. 이 바닥에 일단 조금만. 다 somebody 소리 링양 다 너무 somebody 링양 있어.
And so the 3 reasons, for the root, the third root, which is thinking that nothing will be of benefit except the Dharma at the time of death. And so that one, nothing will be of benefit. So not even your wealth will be of any benefit at the time of death. Not your friends or families or companions will be of any benefit, and not even your body will be of any benefit at the time of death.
어디 다 드리게 잡에 사셔도 아니 내버린 쳐봐 남친 애매 내버린 쳐봐도 다 주셔 거 다시 아니 남친 애매서만 아니 주 받아실 거 같죠 아니 다 집에 주고만 받으면 다 주거나 실거 같아 다 제거할 말씀 생각해.
So actually there are 3 roots, right? So you know the 3 roots. The death is certain, the time of death is uncertain, and the time of death nothing will benefit except Dharma. So those are the 3 roots. And then 9 reasonings. So there's 3 reasons for each root, right? And then there's 3 conclusions. So the conclusion for the first reason, so you can die anytime, so therefore you should practice Dharma. Right? And then the conclusion for the second reason is because you can die anytime, therefore you should practice Dharma right now. Not only you should practice Dharma, but you should practice Dharma right now. And the third reason, which is there's the third root, which is saying that there's nothing is of any benefit except Dharma. And so for the conclusion of that, then you should come to the conclusion that you have to only practice Dharma. So first practice Dharma, second practice Dharma right now, and third practice only Dharma.
Okay. 답변 세자만 간도 도도나 그래서 가라 코나 사고로 왔어. 챔피언 말다 간지.
So just like when you're hungry, nothing will be help, right? Dancing will not help. Wearing nice clothes will not help. Only thing that will help is eating. Right? Eating food will be the only thing that will be of help at the time of hunger.
또 심하편 어떤이다 다 내대도 집안에 애들 와서 실사리 가리편이나 다 주주보마도 편도요레스.
And so same thing here. So at the time of death, only thing that will be of benefit is the Dharma.
근데 이마다 다 나도 다 시와도 가는 하고 뭐 시와로 와서 시리 사만 나도 냥도 용이야 수요리 give it them, give it any this.
So we all know that we're going to die, all right? And at the time when we die, but many of us don't know that what comes with us right, at the time of death. So according to the Dharma teachings, the only thing that comes with us and that goes with us to our next life are the imprints of the negative and positive karmas that we're creating. And so no matter how much wealth we have, none of these things will be able to come with us.
Do you know anyone that take to the wealth to die? You don't have that. Maybe go to Google, maybe you don't find. Usually we find nothing. And we don't get any wealth.
So can't take any of our wealth with us when we die.
아니 다 단단하고 여기 가봐야 아니 가서 그렇지 년지 지금 고요서 나도 좀 봉봉 용이다 그래서 봐 얘는 신이가 나도 스치트예요 말이야.
And then many of us, we have friends, families, servants, subjects, and so forth, right? So thousands and hundred thousands or millions of them, but none of them can, accompany us when we die.
이거 이 자세는 딱 가서 오늘지 다 드셔 쏘는 멤버 왕기 아니 가서 기니다 말씀하려고 고마워 왔어. 그 시위라다 콜라 양이 지니다 대선 담블이 제가 되나 코나 시도 코나 주먹 스치트예요.
Like a very special person who has done a lot for the humanity, for the world, and so forth, like Nelson Mandela, when he passed away recently, right? As you know, there are so many people, so many people who love him, who like him, who follow his path, and who try to be like him, and who are a big fan of him, right? But when he died, none of these people can accompany him. He has to die alone.
나 코로나도 때문에 상처 생기게 현대다 제가 삼십 제가 더 준비했다 이 방법도 다 제시하고.
And so it's like a bodhisattva, intentionally taking birth to benefit other sentient beings. So we can, conclude on that.
나도 남배지 상처 생받아서 사직에 현대도 이쯤지 가리는 나만으로 짜여진 제고를 말이죠.
So in order for bodhisattvas to benefit sentient beings, they don't have to necessarily come in the form of Buddhist. They can come in different forms.
Whatever the benefits, however they do, even sometimes they come to birth, or sometimes they come short to the sama
Bridge.
Like that, okay? What is that? That jogging people, and it also and you bought a young thing. That thing was also little of him, but that is not such as somebody is.
So the world will not be of any benefit. Our friends and families will be of not any benefit. And now the third one is saying that even our body, that was born with us, will not be of any benefit at the time of death.
The data somebody legend of Pambana, she will say, let them just say the same. Matam Yen Pemba, Mechi, no launch Yen Tajo. And Tana Susura, my young little fashion.
So like it says here, when you die, it will be of no help if all the mountains turn to gold and all becomes family. Quite apart from your wealth, possession, and relatives, you will have to leave behind your body. The thing you call my body, which was born from the womb with you.
He mother and Mazu Lise, Tachimbo, and in Tamajo, so much, Temas what they are Muzuma. It is not so much about the little touching what they are here, Morris. Usually in Norway, Laba Chivas and Belida,
Says, which you protected from hunger and cold, which you wouldn't even dare prick with a thorn, and which you guarded and cherished like a wish-granting Jang. So even that you can't take with you.
That's true, right? When you die, we can live all through that. Why they talk about this too much, then they say, you don't take your body, you don't take it. Usually our problem is, we always very touch for our body and our being. Therefore we create a lot of negative karmas. Therefore, don't touch too much. Of course you have to take care of your body, don't touch too much, always. Then even you cannot take with you die. Like that, today that 주제지 있어, that's why they're not switch. 다 집을 저기 리지. 다 소주가 리드 단단하게 로샤레스. 아니 리드 단대야 카트네 로고 말이. 진짜 삼바삼이 주다다 진짜 삼바삼이 주다다. 아니 삼바타바네 다 주시마야 다 문도 상고래서 봐.
And so, like he said here, Panchen Lama Chogi Gyaltsen said, here, this body you cherished and protected will prove deceptive when you most need it. In other words, think about how you will be completely separated from even this body that you have so cherished and protected. And so, having thought over these two reasons, it does not help to stay afraid and depressed. And so, instead, you should think that, and I should definitely practice Dharma. I should only practice Dharma.
다 대디 디가 로바징에 가르나다 지 공작 때문에 가는데 람 지메치 람로서나 추리스 아니 람 슈크 람제 추리스 람 로마시나 디게 지메대한 추리스 아니 람타 리보인 로가네 대야 람 제데 추리스 아니 람 조카 같은 로카라고 대평이 대원도 뿜부지 로바징에 좀 추리스 다 디다네 것은 추려졌다 다른 추셔로 선보를
And just like Kongtang Rinpoche, Tenley said, Dharma is the guide to the undeceiving path. And so Dharma supplies you for the long track. Dharma is your captain on the difficult journey. And from this moment, practice Dharma with your three doors.
어디에서는 가슴에 고민이 다 고와 도마면까지 다 다다만 먹은 자말에 다 받아 처음엔 자와이나야 소수고 다 저도 나서 냐와이나야 다 라라 팬들이 추식 다 찍어 줬는데 다 랑거랑 막 추식도 보면 어디서 손을 기분이
그래서
나도 통만 내반에 통만이 고발은 근데 다 너무 고래서 다 제가 정말 나와서 다 저도 나서 용화해서 얘나 라라 팬배가 아니 샤바 추세 직다 좀 됐어요. 다 싫어하고. 그래서 다 랑거랑 고랑 말고 가지니 다 추리하고 다른 데 듣고 그래서
And also, Kadamba Master said, we have circled in cycling since the beginning of this lifetime. And we've been circling and circling and have gone through all kinds of experiences, the sufferings, the happiness, and so forth in this cycling. But we haven't done a Dharma practice that will be of most benefit to us. So from now on, we should only strive to practice Dharma that will be of benefit to ourselves.
어디 아니야 진짜 말할 때야. 아이고 다 선생 방법이더라. 안기 많이 빠던 밤 손대 슈모 대화전. 다 저도 수행한다 아스. 세인데 심마 슈타리 다 세인데 심마데 타리 뭐야 알았어. 대조야게 장시 타서 다 지나고 그래 도보로 사마로 칼로 주타리 예외스. 대마바이나 다른 추치게 들어와.
And also, Jejun Milarepa said to this lady called Ange Nyama Balderbum. And he says, Ange Nyama Balderbum, listen, lady of wealth, you who have faith, have you enough supplies? For the long road of future lives after this one, if you do not have enough supplies at hand, practice generosity. That will be your supply.
야, 다른 얘다. 다 저런가 지금 양 남과 좀게로 손주청 들어줘 다 레어스 대매바이나 다 하주인 베스 바나나 주치에서 다 특징이 손로스.
And then same again to the same person he's addressing is Ange Nyama Balderbum. Say, have you enough companions to face the great terrors in future lives after this one? If you do not have companion at hand, practice divine dharma. That will be your companion.
시조마다 다 다리 치위티스 람루기 삼근 대원 람지 추다 추에다나 추셔지 마줘가 아니 싸워지 다 저게 다 치셔와는 시와이나 다 빼면서 뭐 방법을 해야 되는데 다 추셔고 해서
And it says, in other words, the dharma is your guide, captain, and provisions for your journey when you die. If you have not practiced dharma, think on how poor your death will be. No different from that of an old stray dog in some alley.
오케이. 어디 다 추시 다 가르치고 당을 선다. 추시고 가르치고 나머지 컴퓨터랑 공부를 장도 와서 가르치고 나서
And then also, so now we are told, to practice dharma. So back to Dharma practicing is the only benefit at the time of death. And so how do we practice Dharma now?
와 근데다 다 취시해서 또다 수수가 리가 있음 고선되고 송고레스 이렇게 같이 하는 말씀하시.
So practicing Dharma is guarding three doors, the body, speech, and mind.
와 아니 대마치가 전에 다 나도 연하다가 냠네데 지오레스.
And then practicing seven limbs.
와다 대초사 들어가자마자 연하다가 냠네 대리체 대리하니까 매워야 말이스.
So the practice of the seven limbs there's no better than that for accumulating merit and purifying negativities.
와 어떻게 맞았다 아니 나도 장신아 아니 바보 성부시 뭐는지 되고 너와 그거는 상사바다 최초셔바다 지세가 고려서바다 그거 좀 단조도 소비 상주 지금 뭐세 뜻이 왔어.
And so that verse, written by the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra in the King of Prayers, where he mentions about the seven in prayers.
어떻게 다시 당분간도 상사와서 이 말이야. 상사와서.
And so the first of the seven limb, is making prostration.
상사와서 왜 너무가 맞아기니 모르겠어.
Prostration is the antidote for the delusion arrogant.
나도 맨 낮에 가서 채워 대가 점심마다 딱 그래. 담아내고 마요 그래서.
So bigger arrogance you have, more problem you have.
낮에 가서 채워 대점심 밑에가 다 샴발까지 통주되거든요. 이다 제일 왔어.
So a person with arrogance will look down on others.
그래서 대라야 들리 챙이더라 미경이 가오체 말고 가지 갑자기 답시는 건 다시 그거 말했어.
So someone who looks down on others will not be liked by others, right?
그래서 다 방법 상사에서 예라 아니 상지 상주 삼바 아니 수수 개개 다 주의게 성질문이 봐도 다 상사로 그랬어.
And so the first one is making prostration. So the object, where you make to whom you make prostration are the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Gurus, deities, and the holy beings, and so forth.
그래서 다 틀가로 대파 내로 마다 깨워서 대바세에 다 주의 제게 가래. 아주 깨워 아마도 집안에 대바고 그래서 대바 기바.
And so having the faith, having a belief or the faith, in the Guru Buddhas is very important. So that with that, then you will get all the knowledges. If you have faith, if you believe in the Guru, then you will study from the Guru, right? So before you can study, you have to have the faith in him. So if you don't have faith, you're not studying. So the faith is like the root of all the knowledges.
나도 상지에서 짜치면 이면은 상지 송한테는 상지 짜치면 거라고.
And so how do we know Buddha is a special being, a holy being, right? By looking at his speech, by listening to his speech.
나도 미자 we call that a person is a professor, scholar. How we cannot call them to professor for just his form, his looking. Whatever he said, whatever he wrote, we check that, right? It's correct. So we say, oh, he or she come from the, Harvard University, therefore he's the professor. We cannot say that, right? However he studied, then however he's, teach for, however he wrote, he talk. We looked at, we said, this is a professor, or he's a very scholar. 그래서 나도 상지에서 깨워 참아야 되면 상지에 손안 되는 그 답이 그랬어.
So whether the Buddha is a special being or not, is checked by his speech.
그래서 다 소소지 기바체서 개개놈이 개개때야 야보 예전에 그 가만만 라고도 라야 되는 다고 그러더라고.
And the same with our teachers. The teacher, whether he's good or not, whether he's a good teacher or not, you have to check on his speech if he teaches, well or not.
도시는 가지 도시는 소소 째째네 되게 째지고 소소고 자 기습 쳐줘다가 아니 다 개개가 신이는 또 소소. 근데 다 기습 상사가 얘나 아니 소소 겨울날 친구 써지면 또 사그래 해서.
And so once you have found such kind of teacher in whom you can have faith, and then to that teacher you should devote yourself, devote, worship, or have faith, strong faith in that. And when you make prostration to that guru, then it becomes very meritorious.
근데 여자다 상사와데 ngajar pashi kibi tsawa yin se ta nyemo ngajar nyemo yin song is
And so making procession, is like antidote, to the pride, arrogance, and will make one to respect others.
와 드리다 다 간지 샤트를 피는데 다 누나야 빼면서 산지메티가 손을 간지 샤트가 있나 손은 거 소도 소소 문에 마음바 아니 zu상고 아니 지금 람도 치고 되게 다들이 안 다산지 고모도야겠다 산지메티가 된 손이에요 와
And so, if you make processions, there are many benefits. The merit is the thing, general thing, that you accumulate. But then, especially if you make procession, you create a cause, to be respected by others, and to have good forms, to have good look and so forth, and all these many benefits. And then, of course, the ultimate benefit is, that you will achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings.
다야 샤트와라 샤트다 쉬고 그러더라
And then for making procession, you have to know how to make procession.
대신 시다 샤라야 리지샤 마고서 이지샤 숨이었어
So the prostration means like paying homage, right? So you can pay homage through your body, you can pay homage through your speech, you can pay homage through your mind as well.
그래 아니 리지고니 샤데 따간도 마도 장샤도 거셔 이상이었어
And then there's the physical prostration, which we have like two kinds, two forms, like we call the full prostration and half prostration.
아니 마도 라바도 누치고 라바 똥바지는 잘렸죠 누치야 누치 소 테모는 마도 똥바에 같이 하는 거죠
And so you have to, fold your hands together when you make prostration, and you have to tuck the two thumbs inside your, inside your palms, and so it doesn't leave it empty inside.
not empty not like that this is not correct you put this put in this what then you put it here 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 then that 산지고 고송 two then really and then temptation to position so
And so you place this on the crown, on the forehead, on the throat, and at the heart. And so that is that leaves imprint in your mind, to achieve the qualities. The protrusion at the crown, the protrusion of the Buddha at the crown, which symbolizes all the qualities, all the knowledges, all the realizations of the Buddha. And then the forehead is body, the throat is speech, and the heart, is the mind. Right? So to achieve all the qualities of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind.
누구지 다 마셔야 정말 나쁜 누지 파 제가 말했어. 누지 지나야 섬제 데모지 되지 제가 레서 드링 보셔서 인가에서
And you can spread your fingers when you place your palm on the ground, to bend down. When you place it on the floor, you shouldn't spread your fingers. It says that that may create a cause to be born as animals.
Yes,
With the power.
you have to know otherwise. 레서 드링 보셔야 되지. 근데 누지는 다 마셔야 정말 양지 수부 찾아 마스터 또 그래서 당신도 써야나.
And so when you make prostration, like a full prostration, full physical prostration, then you have to lie down completely on your front, on your stomach.
And also if you try it, you not that kalikané 아티가 많이 돼요 맞아요.
And so you flat yourself completely on the floor and touch your head on the floor, the forehead on the floor, and then immediately get up. You should not be lazy and just lie down there for a long time.
That's too tight, just like that. 아니 드링 줘봐야 말와이나 녀대와이나 야 브루드리 깨야게요. 아니 다 보셔서 레이더 사는 거세요.
So and then if you lie down, out of laziness and feeling too tired, and then you feel like, oh, I'm just going to lie down, then that creates a cause to be born as animals, who walk on their body, like a snake.
Okay? Then 줘봐야 나한테 난 코알이 이었다 코알이 이었다 타야게 땡땡한 식으로.
And also like standing up immediately, so touch the head, done immediately. So without no touching is not good again, so you have to touch, so you touch it and then immediately stand up. And so the standing up, also symbolizes to get out of psychiatry very quickly.
다 수고 차상 두야 되게 계획 잡아 들어가 있나? 아니 그래. 다 수지 잡고 상처선도 주의적 운동도 되는 소리 가지 대가 사이고 수부 가야고 더 차라고 차다냐면 원치도 따라서 못 받아. 차다냐면 겨워서니 아니 콜로지 이제 올라서 아니 계약이 내다가 사그레스 그래서 봐.
And the benefit, of touching your body on the floor completely. So how much? So when you make prostration, the full prostration and half prostration, that's the difference. So how much, earth is covered by your body, that much more merit you'll accumulate. And the number of merit is counted by the number of the atom of the mud or the earth that you cover with your body. And so however much you cover, that much more atoms there will be, right? And so equal to the number of the atoms of that earth that you have covered, that many times you'll be born as a returning king. And so it says that from the surface till all the way down to the Vajra ground. So again, this is some kind. So there's a Vajra ground, and on top of that there's the normal ground that's built up, right? So until you touch all the floor, not only just the surface of that floor, but all the way down. How many atoms there are, right? There's a countless, right? So that many time to be born as king, returning king, is created at that time. So there are many great benefits like that, of making prostrations. And that's the benefit of making physical prostration, which you don't have in making with the verbal or mental prostration, right? And so of course there are different ways of making mental prostration and verbal prostrations. And so making prostration verbally, making prostration is reciting those prayers, the prayers of the prostration, right? I make prostration to you and so forth. So when you recite verbally, that becomes verbal prostration, or making offerings of a praise. So that's also out of respect, right? Out of devotion, you offer praise to the gurus and Buddhas, and that becomes a verbal prostration. And then with the devotion and with respect, when you think about the qualities of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then pay homage to them, right? The thing of respect them. So that's the mental prostration.
Okay. Yes, yes. You have a question?
Yeah. If your body can't make the physical prostrations, is a verbal prostration with the visualization the same merit?
So we done this. So we chat about the way, no? And now the you going to chat and then but watching the chat away, no? And yes, we chat years and then watching the chat away, no? That the me watching the chat away, no? Me watching. That's we chat over me watching the chat, no? And so we chat and talk with. Yes, you create great merit, but it will not be exactly the same as making prostration with your body again. Yeah, so that's a mental prostration, right? So even if you're doing visualizing, like not just one body, you can visualize like millions of bodies or countless bodies covering the whole space like that. And that with that body, you imagine making prostration. Of course, there's so much merit. More bodies you imagine, more bodies you visualize. When you make prostration, that much more merit you accumulate. Definitely that. But it will not be again same as physical body making prostration.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's the first limb, the limb of making prostration. And of course, all this practice you should do with the proper motivation, with the proper dedication, and so forth. And then the second one, and that's what decides what practice it becomes. And so second one is making offerings. And so there are many different kind of offerings that again you can make. So there's conceivable offerings or inconceivable offerings or actually arranged offerings or mentally visualized offerings and so forth.
생각이 뭐라고 그랬어.
And then the delusion that it destroys or eliminates is this miserliness, the delusion miserliness.
그리고 들이다 다 줘봤어야 돼. 간지 맞지 수수양 류랑양 저 비춰 그랬어.
So you can also visualize, like I said, you can visualize into the offerings, right? And imagine making those offerings to the holy beings.
배차서 와이나 들이가서 쉬어도 가나 지금 몇도 된다고 그러거나 다 대문에 되는지 사진을 찾았으면 이제 추수도 상당하나 대수도 교화사 그랬어.
So again, when you walk outside and then you see a nice, beautiful garden with all these beautiful flowers, and you can just imagine making offering of those flowers to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, to the gurus and so forth.
어디 되게 변한 초보 폐기 개별 자원을 올려가나 아니 자와라야 아니 전대 제거해야 되나야. 그런 거 보시지 좀 말이야.
And so there's the different kind of offerings, is that owned offering, unowned offering. So the offerings, you make the offerings of the things that is owned by yourself, or things that you don't own it, so like the garden, the flower outside there, or somebody who has a nice car. Can you imagine offering that? So the benefit of making offering, is that there's a story related with that. There was this Brahman in India. Brahman is it's a person with a different kind of caste, and so this is a Brahman in India who had a white elephant.
안에 들이 엘펜트 가래 엘레가 고는 게 또막 지바도 또막 가는 거 세이 말이야. 세.
So so all the things that comes out from the elephant, like, all the faces, the urines, everything is of gold.
다들 가르쳐야 됐어. 다들 그냥 maybe like that. 나 다들 가르쳐야 나와야 내 산지에 레슨 qab라야. 그런 게 있고 남아지야. 산지에 레슨이야. 아니 그래. 아니 다 세게 제자들이 비리 되게 해서 다 저당 좀 보셔야 레슨 되는
So the reason, the cause of having that, was created when he met Buddha Kashyapa many years before. When Buddha Kashyapa, very long time before, when Buddha Kashyapa was in this world, and he happened to make offerings of jewelry to Buddha Kashyapa, and this is the result of that offering.
야 되게 야 자가게 되는 장대질라 야 이마 따바고 나베 나야 동세 다 동시요 아니 조야명이 다 거기 거기서 거기 동세지 그때 조야명이지.
So again, there was this another different person in India who will have like endless conscious coming from his hand. So he will give away, then another one will appear in his hand. Another he give away, another one appear in his hand. So like endless.
다 때까지 저는 야 대왕 넘어지래야 고내 사지 세투라야 아니 동생 입이 되게 해서 말했어. 다 눈을 보셔야겠어. 저도 그렇지만
And again, this is also the result of making offering to one of the Buddhas, the Kanshya. He made offerings of the Kanshya Buddha. So now in this life, he has endless conscious.
들이다 된대게 기회 잡아 다 이나 사지 가면서 저들보다 로드 대만이 받는다. 센터에 있는데 내가 여보들 연구해서 와.
So depending on your motivation, when you make the offerings, it can become a cause to achieve enlightenment, cause to be free from liberation, or cause to have good rebirth, and so forth. But those are the intended motivation, right? So even without intention, so he didn't maybe think that, oh, may I have an elephant, who will produce everything that it produces is going to be gold. Never thought like that, right? So that is kind of the side benefits of making offerings like that.
And then you went to go to the Buddha Gaya, you can see the Asian people. They put the gold lips, and all the Buddha statues, even the Buddha Treatise, they put a lot of gold. Lips, what is that, lips?
Gold lips, yeah.
Gold lips. Do you saw that? Because the Asian countries are all, really strong influence Buddhism. Then they are very strong, flat or often. The Westerns not their custom, they don't do that. maybe they say, why you guys doing that? Asian is very strong, that fat. You can see the Buddha Gaya, go to all the trees, small statues, there are a lot of gold lives there. The Asians do that, like that. All tradition, like that, often is very, very important to today. I have to say something, I forgot.
Chokuras. And then the chokuras.
Therefore, we always, I don't know, today by the time Choas at the kitchen was right, but what Chop it, the thing I do, Yacha Pia down, and then you Metopia, Chitopia, and so kitchen was right.
So therefore, offering is very important, to accumulate merit, and then you can direct the merit towards anything that you wish for, of course, for liberation, enlightenment, and so forth. And so making offerings is very important, for that reason, to accumulate merit. And then there are different kind of offerings we can make, right? Like the on offering, unwanted offerings, like when we do in our tradition, and especially in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we make the offerings of the water bowls, right? So offerings of water bowls in the morning, and any other offerings like flowers or fruits and so forth, whatever you can afford. But the house has to make without any sense of miserliness. So like completely giving away, not expecting anything or not feeling like any miser about the things that you offer.
Which today by the Yamato Nyamba Sande said you just take on you. And the Nyamba Sande said, Pachi and Jute Chimbo in Kutikabaya. But today Chimbo Kachega, Jenny, Zomay, some of the Koran, that's similar down. And they couldn't some of the love to Chelabaris.
So again, you might have heard about this person with a very beautiful voice but very ugly face, called Nyamba Sangden. And so in one of his previous lives, I think during Buddha Kashyap's time, there were people who were trying to build a stupa, huge stupa. And so they were all like saying, we should build this. And then he was like kind of against, not really against, but there's no way you can build it, so there's no point in wasting your energies and time and all these things on this. There's no way you can build it.
And take out that there's some, and the Shuman should have done something called Joachim, that should have a culture of the Chichangi, that joke and Yamboni Tashos and Kolava.
And so, but later, people, they all worked together and they managed to build it. And then he felt bad that he said that there's no point building and there's no way you can finish building it, and so forth. So in order to confess that, then he offered a very good sound bell to the stupa. So and every time people pass by, they will ring the bell, and then that makes the offering of sound to the stupa.
And take it all, take your Shimako Sunday, can you watch in the Kokiabaris?
And so as a result of that, action, and when he was born as a Nyamba Sangden, and he had such a beautiful voice that enchanted everybody around him.
And the Shetajana Kritikala, Tango Job, the Sasha, take a girl or take your Shimadeko, Numa Kritik, Chaw, the woman to love some the party leveler, Kutan, don't remember your minister.
So as a result of saying that there's no point in building that, there's no way you can finish it and so forth, and because of that, he was born with a very, very ugly feature, ugly face, that anybody who sees him will throw right away.
But look at it, even he maybe create a cost to burn the hell, but the power for he gotten a very beautiful song, bird. And then the thing that you bought the chore on the country, Chevadilla, so good to put the Patano tradition is.
So that purified the negative karma to be born in the hell realm, the offering of the bell. Purified the negative karma to be born in the hell realm, and got rid of that karma, just by having an ugly feature in this lifetime.
What that integration, that Chowan Raman, not really that, because you Shancho was Semkova, Nijego, Tonyo Gova, Tozoya, Chowan the word that they do so.
And so on offerings, like meditating on compassion, meditating on loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, and so forth, can also become offerings.
And the young children, Chowana Mepati, that guardian doing Chowasi, then Chowa, Yashu.
And the best offering, is this offering of practice, right? So practicing just as been taught by your guru. So your guru advises you to do this and do that, and you do that. That's the best offering.
아니 지마르데 뭐 상승은 뭐 말하면 파트에 드린자스 어떻게 소리를 했어?
And so that's what Minerva said. There's no material things that I have to make offerings to my guru. I offer him my practice by following his advice.
와, 드리다 까지적인 주인이다. 드리 까지 가르쳤나? 까지 갔다 오나? 다 저랑 개와치 마지. 개와치 제가 있나? 저랑 강에 제가 섬질라. 제만 내주고 그래서 드리 그래서 얘는 맞춰와나 다 까지 들어가는 그래서.
So offering, of the practice and practicing just as you've been advised, by your guru. So whatever guru said to do, then you do that, and that becomes the best offering.
오케이. 그랬다 뭐도 그런다 상제로 가지 상제까지 좋아했나? 까지 좀 좋아서 연구해서 좋아.
So guru's advice is the teachings of the Buddha, right? So if we practice teachings of the Buddha, then that will become offering, of our practice to our gurus.
아니 손은 사비 시세야 돼. 아니 드리 야라는 줘봐. 바르긴들 니그 맞장으로 좀 봐. 동고요.
So offering, is usually done, to the holy objects, holy beings, holy objects, and then there is and then there's offerings of the food and service and so forth to the sanghas, and then there's the generosity, practice of generosity towards the poor ones.
다 대리선으로 다 그렇게 되는 다 산이 넣어서 다 같이 신봤다가 아니 저번에 넣어서 내가 대리 삼세 대리 삼고 말들어 왜 나오지는 또 취해요 그래서.
And so now you might all prepare yourself, to go and give things away now, right? Thanksgiving.
That means even you can just do very simple. Whenever you eat 3 times a day, right? How many people eat 4 times? We want it to become very big, therefore we eat very less, right? When some, other countries it's a problem to find to eat, therefore they don't eat too much. And here we get a lot of food that we want it to become big, we don't understand it. Big, therefore we don't eat much. But most people eat 3 times. When you eat, before you eat, the perfect motivation to offer your food for Buddha, Guru, everything. It's offering. Then you generosity, then to eat, you say also you have a lot of
Germs.
Germs in your body, lot of hundreds of billions of germs. You can also visualization. I will give for them to food, generosity. Therefore you can do too. Like that, you don't need to go someplace to prostration, say offering something. Like if you know how you do it, then you have a lot of things easy to do. If you doesn't know, then very difficult. Therefore, today about that,
So medical offering, is a very good way, of creating merit. So a person who makes offerings, and of course, creates merit. Person with a merit, either by making offering or prostration or any other practices. Whoever creates a lot of merit will always find success in whatever he or she does, and will not be inflicted by any kind of harms by the maras, the demons, evil forces, or the elements from our side.
안에 사실 좀 된데가 안에 손음 때문에 손음 남아 대두도 못 손음 때문에 매 사만은 좀 손을 봐.
So Buddha said, and a person with a merit, will be free of all the sufferings and will accomplish all his or her wishes.
삼성만도 지금 딱롱다 차서가면 되니 샤워만도 랑랑만도 가봐야 그냥 너도 주먹에 지금 나와 지금 내랑도 나와 지도고 이래서 봐.
And so when we don't have enough merit, then we can be harmed easily, by others from outside. And so if we have enough, a lot of merit, then we will not be harmed by others. The others will not be able to harm. And so then the third one is the confession, confessing your negativities. And the confessing, or purifying the negative karmas that you have created through your body, speech, and mind. So the non-virtuous action is the cause to be born in the lower realms. And so Nagarjuna said, the negative karma produces all the sufferings and the lower realms. And then all the positive karma produces the happiness and the upper realms. So if we don't want to have any sufferings or don't want to be born in the lower realms, then we should purify the negative karmas that we have created. And so it's not something that we can do at one time and then get rid of everything, because we have too much, and we continuously create that all the time. Therefore, we should do this practice of purification all the time, every day, on a daily basis. We should keep on doing the practice of purification, and then eventually we'll be able to get rid of all the negative karmas that we have created since being in this lifetime. And the first, when we do purification, the four opponent powers, that is very important. The four powers. So the first one is the power of regret. So having regret is very important towards the negative karma that one has created. And so without regret, there's no way you can purify the negative karma. And so you have to have a very strong regret. The amount of regret that you should have is as if you will have when you have taken poison. How much regret you say, I should have, it's so bad now I've taken the poison. How bad you feel about that, right? So that is the kind of feeling you should have for creating negative karma. And so then so once you have had that, the power of the regret, and then you have to apply the power of antidote. So in order to purify that, then you engage in certain kind of practice that becomes the power of antidote. So there are many common practices. Any kind of practice can become that, become the antidote, but there are well-known or specified practices like making, so reciting 100 syllable mantras, 30 Buddha prayers, or any kind of mantra, right? Om Mani Padme Hum and so forth. And so once you have applied that antidote, then in order to, for it to not increase, not to do that again, not to repeat that again, then you have to make a promise. So that the power of the promise, where you say, okay, I'm not going to create such kind of negative karma, even at the cost of my life. So you have to have that kind of, strong feeling of not wanting to do it, not wanting to repeat it again, and make a promise. And so you have to make promise. That is the one of the antidote and one of the opponent powers. If you don't do that by thinking that I don't know if I'll be able to stop it completely. Maybe I might do it tomorrow. So it will not be good to say I make promise now. You shouldn't think like that. You should make the promise.
다들 저도만에 땡기 따왔었더니 다들 나와체데 상주고 sem고 공반용 공반 이제고 아니 신이 돼서 좀 같은 거다 땡기 떠오르고 그랬어.
And then all these practices you do on the basis of taking refuge, generating bodhicitta. Right? So refuge, you purify all the negative karmas that you have created in relation to the Buddhas, gurus and Buddhas, right? By taking refuge in them, by following them. And then by generating bodhicitta or compassion, you purify all the negative karmas that you have created in relation to the sentient beings by causing harm to them. And so these are the two, the basis, the power of the basis. So on the basis of these two, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta and compassion, and you engage in all these practices.
Okay? 근데 저도 내래 그날 저게 야랑서 맞다 드리니만 가는 가면 야부리 책이 다 간투듯이 뭐게 쇼를 많이 책이 예선 그런 거 건다 많이 가려면 상다 되게 가르쳐 주고 그 야부 제부도나 근데 대반요 봐샤 야부 제도나 되게 지세가 전에 다 도장 뭐 그래서
So the purification has to be done every day on a daily basis, and then every night before you go to sleep, you should purify. And so in the morning, it's good to generate bodhicitta and compassion, motivation in the morning. So it says, in the morning, soon after you wake up, you can think that I'm going to do only thing that's going to be of benefit. So everything that I do, I'm going to do for the benefit of sentient beings. With that thought, with that motivation, start your day, and then at the end, and then you check whatever you have done. So anything you have done wrong, and purify that by applying these opponent powers.
but we don't have time. That morning we have to get up, to go to the land, have to go walk, take out. We have much time to that. But you can try to, every day, just slowly, then they become habit. You can, set the motivation every day. 그래서 매바 중에 락치는 초도가 gelab지랑 초도하고 되는데 지금 보시 송이랬어. 빨리 좀 거지. 그 지세요.
And then the third one, the fourth one, is the rejoicing, the limb of rejoicing. So the rejoicing, is the practice, that can be done very easily. So rejoicing is you don't have to do anything; you just feel good about others doing good. So others are doing good, then you say, "Oh, that's very good." So that feeling is rejoicing, right? And so rejoicing, is the best way to create merit without working hard at all.
오케이. 낙대 다들 때문에 보면서 내가 너 샤 다들 슈마랑 가서 더 치르니요.
So we'll stop here for today, and then next time we'll continue again on that.
Okay? Then we talk about this. We say, okay, I'm going to do only practice dharma. We say, what do I have to do? We have to do it like that. Also, there are a lot of things. This is just a simple one, easy one, not too complicated. Okay? Usually there are a lot of things. But this is easy, also more powerful to get the merit. Okay? Like that, and thank you. Then any questions?
This is a question on doing prostrations. I read on Alex Burson's site, who's a student of Tsongkhapa Rinpoche. He said one of the things you could prostrate to is the future Buddha that you will become. And I was wondering if Geshe thinks or knows about that suggestion.
소소 뭐 상계처럼 소소 뭐 상계. 난들라 차트나 디레스도 내가 되었어.
Theo, do it.
Yes, you can make.
Yeah, this is so good, yeah. And the shelter we got another shelter maji what they do with. So
So you recite that mantra, the Om Namo Mitra Shirije, Namo So Shirije, Namo Tam Shirije. So if you recite that mantra, then that multiplies the merit of making prostration.
Okay?
So you should do with that, yeah.
Okay. Yes?
I was wondering on the tormas, there's symbols on the tormas, and the one on the left has a white elephant, and I always wondered, what do the symbols on the tormas mean? What are they for?
They can touch the little. They did. 단도도 내가 사지 좀 전에 샤주는 거든 도도야 저가 필요할 때는 손부터 먹고 싸워야 되니까 다 드리는 거지.
So those are the like 8 auspicious signs, like and then there's the 8 auspicious substances and so forth. So those are those were offered during the time of Buddha, and that's just to symbolize that. So we should also make offerings of those things to accumulate merit.
And I don't know why you put off the white elephant, the horse. This I don't know.
Long Rinpoche, that's it.
Yeah, Lambu Rinpoche.
So in the mandala offerings, we offer all these. These are all things that are very important, I mean, and it's like a possession, right? So elephant, and the horse, and which we feel trees and so forth. So all these are just to make offerings.
Okay? Okay, then no question, then thank you. Is Chub here?
No? I thought you raised hand.
Okay. No, thank you. Yeah.
I have again a question about anger and so forth. So there's one person, I work, I dedicate, I feel good, I can do well to others, but there's one person that I find it really hard. He just, I say something, no matter if it's a good intention, I make it negative in my mind. And maybe just, I know to practice every morning and to think, but it's really hard. So,
Of course, it's very hard. Yeah. Not just you, everybody. For us, everybody hard. Everybody, not just not something wrong with this. Everybody very hard. Yeah, it is hard. It's not everybody now. We also know. Yeah, even you lost. Just the control use the hard connect and it can't do much.
So I mean, you know it already. That getting angry is bad. So as long as you have that in your mind, that's very good. So with that, and then try as much as possible, to think that, oh, I should not get angry. I should not get angry. Even though he's saying all these things, in the way he's saying, what he's saying, all these things, but there's no point in getting angry. So you just thinking like that, and it helps you not to get that much angry, and not to keep in your mind and so forth. And of course, if you can think of the reasons why he's angry, like he's ignorant, he's this poor guy, he doesn't know these things. So if you think like that, then that might help you to not get angry at all. So yeah, keep on doing, because it's very helpful thing to do, and of course it's difficult to do, but you should keep on doing that. Yeah.
Also, don't say that from the hymn, oh, poor guy, this is,
Maybe sometimes will be effective also. Oh, you poor thing.
poor guy.
right.
He might not say that, things like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes, also, sometimes those kind of people are many different, Sometimes how much we respect them, they become more worse. With that we can do a little bit,
So you can act a little harsh, but out of good means.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of right. Some always we respect from someone, then they got to more, with more power. So I can do anything for he or she, then they could more. That time you say, hey, I'm the strong person. Like now, you can just also, very strong in me. You can also good motivation and more experience. You don't need to say always, okay, whatever you want to do, not like that. Okay? But anyway, even if remind that negative emotions are false. This is very good. Therefore, we pay more attention. Usually we don't pay attention. We just whatever, just doing things. Even you know that this is good. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Finish.
Please turn to page 39 of the Kurukulla Center Prayer Book for the Thanksgiving module.